Hey there, future homeowners. It's Jeremy Williams of the Bannack Real Estate Group, and welcome to the next step of the House Hunter Handbook series. If you've been watching us so far, we've been going through all the steps between getting financing, finding the right house, negotiating, due diligence. Now we're talking about closing the deal. What do we need to be aware of to get to the end with as little complications as possible? So let's get into it. Now that we're rounding the corner and getting ready for the closing, it's really important that you work with your lender and make sure you get them everything they need so they're prepared. Any delay in response back to them could actually delay the closing and could put everybody in a bad situation or make situations a little bit more difficult than they need to be. Now, this is something I've seen happen. It's really, really important that you don't do anything that will change your financial situation or your credit score. What I mean by that is certainly don't change jobs in the middle of this. Don't quit your job in the middle of this. Don't spend a lot of money. Don't go buy things on credit. I actually saw a situation where the future homeowner was really excited, so they went out and bought a bunch of furniture on credit so they'd be ready in the day of closing. Well, unfortunately, that credit pool lowered the credit just enough that they didn't qualify all of a sudden. We eventually got the deal done, but it took a couple weeks longer than it needed to take because of that. So don't change anything during this process. That's one of the most important things you can do until after the closing. This is the final walkthrough. It usually happens the day before or the day of closing. This gives you an opportunity to first make sure they've moved out of the house and they've also left the agreed upon personal items to stay with the house. That might be like the range, refrigerator, dishwasher, things of that nature. And check the condition. Make sure that there's no last minute items that need to be handled before closing. If the condition looks good, we're off to closing. Finally, after all these steps, it's time to go to closing. Closing is going to happen at a title company, and we're going to meet with a title agent and the lender. The lender is going to go through all the documents needed to secure a loan, and the title agent is going to go through the documents needed to transfer ownership from the seller's name to your name. Now that that's happened, those documents are going to sit down to the county and get recorded. Most likely that recording happens the same day that we have the closing, but if we close late in the day, it might not happen to the next day. Why that's important is because when the property is finally recorded, that's when you own the property, that's when you receive the keys. Thank you for hanging in there and going through the House Hunter Handbook series with us, where we just went over all the various steps from beginning to end of what it takes to purchase a house. Now, of course, we just went through some of the basics and there's more to it. So if you have any questions, you want more details, please reach out. You can reach me at 406-531-1519. And of course, the main thing, if there's any takeaway you can get from these videos, is having the right team around you is essential to get you from beginning to end as smooth as possible. What I mean by that is having the right buyer's agent, the right lender, the right title company, all working together to get you from beginning to end. When that happens, it's a fun, exciting experience.